Hello learners, this is our last video on chapter matter and its composition, and we have decided that we will do all that question answers work in this video. So let's start. The first question was, if an object weighs 6 Newton on earth, what will be its weight on moon? What will be the change in its mass? Try to understand the question. First question is that if the weight of any body is 6 Newton, what will be the weight of the same body on the moon? And second is there any change in mass when the body is on moon surface or on earth surface? So we are going to frame that answer. Weight of the body on moon is equals to 1/6 of its weight on earth, as we knew that gravitational force of moon is 1/6 of the gravitational force of earth, and we knew that weight depends upon gravitational force. So we'll use this formula. Weight of body on moon is equals to 1/6 of its weight on earth. Therefore weight of the body on moon is equals to 1/6 into 6, and 6 cancelled, therefore it is equals to 1 Newton. So the same body which is on earth surface, its weight is 6 Newton, but on moon surface its weight is 1 Newton. While mass of the body does not change with change in gravity, because we have learned during explanation of the chapter that mass never changes. So mass of the body remains same on the moon surface also. Second question, write your observation and conclusions for the following. First question, when few marbles are put in a glass half filled with water, write your observation and conclusion. So what you will observe, you can do this activity at home also. We will take half glass water and mark its level and weigh it. Then add some marbles and put them in it one by one. After some time we will notice that water level rises up and it crosses the mark. This is because the marbles occupy space. Again weigh the glass with marbles. We will find that the second mass is greater than the first one, because in second mass water plus marble, both masses were included, so naturally their mass will increase. This proves that marbles have mass. You can see this diagram also, children. In first glass I have shown only water is there in the glass. In second glass water plus marble is there, so you can see that water level rises. Second question was, ice is kept at room temperature. Write your observation and conclusion. So you may write it easily that when ice kept at room temperature, it melts because it will absorb heat from the atmosphere. So we will write ice when kept at room temperature, it melts and changes back into liquid state. Next question. Question number 3. Why do solids, liquids and gases differ in their state? Answer is, only two reasons are there, or we can say mainly two reasons are there. Intermolecular force of attraction and intermolecular species. These are the two causes. Because of that we can call few matters as solid, few as liquid and few as gases. So these are the two factors, and you will write that only. Second question, under what condition do solids, liquids and gases changes their state? You all knew about that topic which we have learned in previous videos, that because of sublimation, because of melting, because of evaporation. These all are the factors due to change in temperature, but by increasing or decreasing pressure also we can change the state of matter. So overall we can write that matter can change from one state to another state by changing temperature, or pressure or both temperature and pressure. When a stone is no okay, question number 4 is give reasons. First question, when a stone is dipped in a glass containing some water, the level of water rises, but when a spoon of sugar is added to it and stirred, the water level does not rise. Why? We have to give the reason for that. See the answer. First answer, we will take a glass half filled with water, dip a spoon in it. We observe that the water level rises, indicating that spoon occupies space. Now we will remove the spoon. Water comes down to its original level. Now we will add a spoon of sugar to it and stir well. The sugar disappears, but the level of water in the glass does not rise. That means the volume of water has not increased. The sugar particles being smaller get adjusted between the water molecules. This shows that there are intermolecular space in water. Question number 2 was, a drop of ink added to water in a glass turns whole water blue. Why? Answer is here. As we know that water as well as ink particles are in continuous random motion. Due to motion, the blue colored particles of the ink spread all over and give blue color to the water. Our third question was, when a teaspoon of sugar is added to a half glass of water and stirred, the water level in the glass does not rise. See, this question is just similar to question number 1. So you will frame the answer like that. It is not compulsory that same to same question will come. You try to understand the concept and accordingly you frame your answer. So what is the answer? When we add 1 teaspoon of water to a half glass of water, the sugar disappears, but the level of water in the glass does not rise. That means the volume of water has not increased because the sugar particles are adjusted between the water molecules. This shows that there are intermolecular space in water. Now, question number 4. Give reason why when an empty gas jar is inverted means upside down, over a gas jar containing a colored gas, the gas also spreads into the empty jar. See the reason? This shows that gases can fill up all the space that they get, and they have neither a fixed shape nor a fixed volume. Even they have no free surfaces also. With the help of diagram, I have tried to explain that answer, children. See, in first figure I have drawn 2 glasses. First glass, you can see first glass is where I have written sugar particles. Second is sugar solution. There is no rising level of water. That's why I have written there at bottom that water level does not rises. And in second figure, when we kept a spoon inside it, you can see the water level rises on dipping a spoon in water. So you must draw diagrams on white page of your notebook, and I hope you all have made interleaf notebooks. Fifth question was, again it is similar to second sub question. And fifth question was, a red ink drop added to a small amount of water in a glass turns water red in some time. Why? So what we have written, see, if we put a drop of red ink in a glass of water, its particles diffuses with particles of water slowly but continuously, and water turns red. See, I have shown here with the help of diagram. So please draw the diagram, children. Now fill in the blanks. There are so many Phillips I have seen in your book, so and I knew with the help of previous videos you may answer all those answers which are objectives or the definition based answer, but those which I found you may be confused that what will be the answer. I have selected those only. So first filler word, air is a matter because it has dash, dash and it can be dash. So what will you write? Air is a matter because it has mass, weight, space and it can be compressed. The molecules are made up of atoms. The quantity of matter in an object is called its mass. The state of matter with definite volume and definite shape is called solid. The substances which can flow are called fluids. Now question number 6. Name the following phenomenon which causes the following changes. Conversion of water into steam is what? I have written in next slide answer also. You try to give answer here only. Conversion of water into steam is called boiling. Formation of water vapor from water is vaporization. Question number 7. Water cycle is an example of interconversion of state of matter. Explain it. This is a perfect example for interconversion of state of matter. During summer season or when temperature increases, water evaporates from rivers, oceans, lakes and from other sources of water, also from leaves of plants and trees by transpiration, and enters in atmosphere as clouds, and when temperature falls again vapor changes or condenses back into water droplets, some of it in the form of snowfall on earth, and this continues. Thus we can say that water cycle is an example of interconversion of states of water. Question number 8. What is the relationship between intermolecular space and intermolecular force of attraction? The answer is the force of attraction between the molecules of substances is called intermolecular force of attraction, and space between the molecules is called intermolecular space. This is the definition only. Now main answer is the second paragraph. The basic relationship between these two is that they both are inversely proportional. If one will increase, naturally second will be decreased. If the second will increase, then first will be increased. This relation is called as inversely proportional relationship. If molecular force of attraction is more, naturally molecules must be close to each other, which means that in this condition intermolecular space is lesser and vice versa. I have drawn these three diagrams which will correlate with other questions also. See the first diagram in which I have tried to show molecules of solid, where you can see all the molecules are close to each other because the force of attraction is so much, so space is very less. Intramolecular space is very less. In second case, that arrow sign shows that force of attraction. So in liquid state you can see the molecules are little bit far away as compared to the solids, but closer as compared to the gases molecules. So when you will see the gas molecules, intermolecular space is so much because force of attraction is very less. So if someone will ask you what is the relation between intermolecular space and intermolecular force of attraction, they both are inversely proportional to each other. Now question number 9. Why liquids do not have a definite shape? That you may understand with the help of previous diagram also, children. And what I have written here, let's see. Molecules of a liquid are held by weak intermolecular forces. This force is strong enough to hold the molecules together but not strong enough to hold them at fixed position. As a result, liquids have a fixed volume but not shape. Now question number 10. What happens when a solid is heated? We all knew that when we heat solid it starts melting, but we need to understand what happens inside the particles. When we heat, molecules of the solid will start moving here and there, because the force of attraction between them starts decreasing with increase of temperature. That's why, because the movement of particles starts and particles moves away from each other, that's why it changes its state from liquid to solid to liquid. That's the thing I have written here. Let's see. And answer what I have written. When a solid is heated, its molecules gain energy and vibrate faster. A stage comes when they overcome intermolecular force of attraction and starts moving away from each other. This results in melting of solids. After this, children, I have written this question. Give reason for the following. First question is gases can be compressed easily. Second is liquids can flow easily. Third is we need to classify things. Why? These we have to write down the causes. Fourth is pure substances have fixed melting or boiling point. And fifth is electricity is not considered matter. So we are supposed to write down the question answers. All these give the reasons, not question answer, give reason. So answer the first question. The reason for this property of gases is that there is very large intermolecular space between the gas molecules. On applying pressure, they can easily compressed, which I have shown in diagram also, that there is so much space between the particles of gases, so we may compress it easily, because there is space to shift for particles so that they can shift from here to there. But in case of solid, there is no space, so that we can't compress because molecules can't move. Almost similarly is reasoned. Before that, please see the diagram and draw it in your notebook. Here again I have shown you the molecules of solid, liquid and gases, their position, the distance between each and every particle. See the intermolecular space. That's why when we use piston and we try to compress in second diagram, see the first part, there is a liquid, particles are a little bit far away from each other, so we may compress liquid also. But in the case of gases, see the second part of the second diagram, when there is so much space between the molecules, so we can easily compress gases. So our second question was liquids can flow easily, give reason. In liquids, intermolecular force is weaker than that of solids, so molecules in liquids can slip over one another, therefore liquids can flow unlike solids. We need to classify things in order to distinguish. Okay, the third question was why we need to classify things. We need to classify things in order to distinguish them. In this way, things can categorized and can be easily studied. For example, in this chapter we are categorizing most of the things or the matters in three categories, that is solid, liquid and gases, so that we can easily understood what are the properties or the characteristics of these type of materials like solids or liquids or gases. Similarly, in previously or in later classes, you will learn about the different types of matters, like which are made up of rubber, which are made up of plastics, those which are made up of metals. So we need to classify things in order to distinguish them. In this way, things can be categorized and can be easily studied. Now moving to question number 4. Pure substances have fixed melting or boiling point. Say children, if any substance is made up of 2 or 3 types of particles, then every particle, every element is having their own MP or BP, that is melting point or boiling point. But pure substances consist of only one kind of matter. All the particles of the pure substance are alike. It has a definite composition and similar properties. This is the reason that pure substances have fixed melting or boiling point. Fifth question was electricity is not considered matter. I have explained this answer during my definition video also, where I have explained you about heat and coldness. The same concept you will mention here. See what I have written. Electricity neither has mass nor it occupies space. Beside it cannot be seen. This is why electricity is not considered as matter. Now question number 11 children. Give reasons why do liquids and gases flow but solids do not. When I was giving you definition of fluids in last video, you can go through that. That is the answer of this question also. Okay, so we are going to answer the first one. Why do liquids and gases flow but solids do not? And our second question, a gas fills up space available to it. The order of scent spreads in a room. Children, as we know that I'm going to discuss about question number 1. Why do liquids and gases flow but solids do not? The answer is the molecules of liquids and gases are far away from each other. There is so much intermolecular space, that is intermolecular force of attraction is very less as compared to solids. Hence liquids and gases can flow but solids do not, as intermolecular space is lesser in solids and intermolecular force of attraction is very strong. So many times I have explained this matter, this topic of intermolecular space and intermolecular force of attraction about solid, liquid and gases. Go through all those videos, children, so that it is very easy to frame the answers. Now, second question was, give reasons why a gas fills up space available to it. And the answer is, as we know that molecules of gases are loosely packed, that is intermolecular force of attraction is very weak. Therefore, molecules of gases easily flows and it mixes up, it diffuses with air. Hence, gases can fill up the space available to them. Third question was, the order of the scent spreads in a room. Again, same cause, that is diffusion. Scent fumes, scent is perfume and fume is aroma which you smell. Scent fumes are gases which fill up the space between air molecules, or we can say that scent fumes diffuses with air and thus spreads in room quickly. And fourth question, children, give reason we can walk through air. Why? Common sense we can use here. The molecules of air are far apart. There is large gaps between molecules of gases, hence we can walk through air easily. If someone will ask me that can you walk through a brick or a wall, we can't. I can't, because there is no space between the molecules and the particles from where I can walk. Okay, coming to question number 5, liquids have definite volume but no definite shape. Why? I hope you all are able to answer this question, because already I have made 6-7 videos on the same topic. So let's see what is the answer. The molecules of liquids are loosely packed and intermolecular force of attraction is small, but number of molecules in it remains the same. Hence liquids have definite volume but no definite shape. So children, this is the last question. So very soon we will meet with a new video in which there must be a new chapter. I hope you all are enjoying holidays. Keep smiling and please keep learning also and complete your written work, children. Bye bye.